friends, welcome back. We're gonna do another feel-good stretchy flow, so perfect for after work, which is for me, which this is probably the cleanest you'll ever see my hair. When you just need a little bit of movement through your body, but you don't have a ton of energy, you want a little bit of flow, a little bit of long-held stretches, just to rejuvenate and calm you and get you ready for your evening ahead, or perfect for post-workout. So you shouldn't need any props unless you love practicing with them. A bolster might feel nice actually at the end if you have a little bit of tightness in your body, or if you just want a little bit more relaxation, grab a bolster. And we're gonna get started in child's pose. So come to the back of your mat, big toes touch in the center, knees out wide, and then walk your hands forward, rest your forehead down onto the mat. And let this be a place where you arrive into body, into this moment. Maybe that means you feel your bones sinking heavy down into the mat, or maybe it means you're noticing your breath for the first time today. Whatever is calling to you in your body, just spend the next 5 breaths sending some awareness there. See if you can create those 360-degree breaths, expanding in all directions. Out through your ribs, your back body, your belly, and up into your chest. Do that one more time here. Big, full inhale in through your nose. Briefly pause at the top, and then slow exhale. Feel your ribs descend back into your body. Gaze forward, walk your hands forward, stack your hips on top of your knees. We're going to find heart melting or puppy pose on Halasana. So if it feels like you want a little more activeness, then stretch your fingertips long and wrap your outer armpits down, really opening up through the shoulders. If you want something a little more gentle, bend your elbows more, bring them closer into the crown of your head, and rest on your forehead as opposed to stretching out and resting on your chest and chin. Or find something in between, but be here opening up across your collarbones, maintaining your breath for 5 more cycles. See if you can broaden across your upper back space. Let your breath inflate the back area of your heart. And then slowly roll back, belly rests onto thighs, hips onto heels. And then stand up through your upper body, resting on your shins. Interlace your fingers, place them on your heart. And then press them away as you turn your hands inside out, rounding through the upper spine. Now make a Kali Mudra with your hands so everything is interlaced except your index finger and thumb. On an inhale, we're going to lift up and out of our waist. Biceps come behind our ears. And then exhale, round forward. Keep your arms as they are. Inhale to open up. Add a little back bend if you want. And exhale, round forward. Fingertips point to the top of the mat. 3 more, moving through your spine, opening up through your shoulders, tucking and tilting your pelvis. Inhale to rise, exhale to round. One more time here. And on this last one, crawl your hands forward, find a tabletop pose, stacking shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. We're going to take a little smile shape, so a little half circle with our hips, dipping them from side to side. Close your eyes and let this feel really intuitive. Letting your hips poke out to this side, feeling a stretch along that side body, coming through center, and then releasing them the other way. Your gaze can follow the path of your hips as well. Creating that nice upside down rainbow or smile shape. Your pelvis might have been stuck in a seated position all day or a standing position all day. It's good to bring it all around. Good, last time over to the left, and then we'll meet in center. Stretch your right leg long behind you and just rock your weight forward and backwards, pressing the heel down, and then rising onto the ball of the foot. You should feel this as a nice calf stretch. Take about 10 here. Still pressing the ground with both hands, gazing forward to stay long through your spine. Couple more, finish up. And then we'll swap them out. So right knee comes underneath your right hip, stretch your left leg long, and then rock into your calf stretch. My ankle cracks every time. Good. Take one more here, and then step your right foot back to meet your left. Briefly pause in your plank pose. Always have the option to drop both knees if you'd like. Inhale to smile across your collarbones. And then exhale, glide your hips high, downward facing dog. And if this is your first one of the day, of the practice, then just bend into your knees. Find whatever shapes are calling to you to open up into and activate into. Pedal out your feet or just stay in stillness. But always keep as much bend in your knees as you need to keep your low back long instead of rounding. Nice neutral pelvis here. As we open up more, we can think about melting the heels down to the mat. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Bring your toes out, your heels in. We're going to drop into a Halasana yogi squat. If you have any props you'd like to use to place underneath your hips, please bring them into play. And again, just maybe rocking onto one foot and then the other, or if it feels good to hang out in stillness, then do that. As you finish up your movement, let's all meet with our elbows pressing into our knees pressing into our elbows, and our hands meeting at heart center. Inhale to grow long through the back of the neck, through the crown of your head, rooting down through your heels and sit bones. And exhale, stay. Good. Walk your hands out to downward facing dog. We'll move through a little flow a couple times just to get some energy moving, and then we'll finish with some stretches. So on an inhale, bend your knees, gaze forward between your thumbs. Exhale, you're going to step, hop, float, whatever way you want to make it to the top of your mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, rise into a stable chair. So I want your feet hip width distance apart. Actually, take the back. We're going to move into circle chair. But the feet are going to stay in that wider stance. We're going to press the ground away with our feet and roll up our spine one segment at a time. Your head is last to stack as your shoulders roll down your back body. Inhale, arms reach up high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stable chair. So now we sit back into our heels. Arms reach overhead. And exhale, fold again. Plant through your hands, step your feet back, lower onto your knees, and then all the way down to the mat. Keep your elbows hugging in by your side body. Inhale to prepare. Keep your knees on the mat, and then exhale, push the ground away. Come into this extended plank with knees dropped. Inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, walk your hands back. Find your Halasana yogi squat. And exhale, walk back to downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple your spine forward to high plank. And then exhale, lower your body down as one unit to the mat. Belly, forehead rest, toes untuck. Hands up by the side, ribs. Draw your shoulders down your back body. And then inhale, pretend there's a string pulling your sternum forward to the top of your mat. Engaging the back body into this baby cobra. And exhale, release. Tuck your toes under. Inhale, rise up to a cow pose, arching through the spine. And then exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog, and glide your hips back. Inhale, gaze forward between your thumbs, bend your knees. Exhale, make your way to the top of the mat, Uttanasana, forward fold. Press the ground away, make sure your feet are hip width distance apart, and then inhale, rise up through your circle chair. Exhale, ground down, shoulders release. Inhale, upward salute, fingertips reach high. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose, biceps framing your ears, sit back into your hips. And then exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back. And then lower your body as a unit. You can tuck the knees or lower the knees or keep them raised up. And we're going to lower down onto our bellies. Inhale to prepare. Hug your elbows into your sides. Tuck your pelvis under, engage your core. And then exhale, full push-up back to plank. Inhale here. And exhale, downward facing dog. Toes out, heels in, walk back into your Halasana. Yogi squat at the back of the mat. And then exhale, walk it forward, downward facing dog. Ripple through your spine, raise up onto the balls of your feet as you roll forward to high plank. And then exhale, lower your body down to the mat. This time, high cobra, untuck your toes, press into your palms, lift your chest from the mat, still engage the back body. But feel free to use the hands to traction backwards as you thread your heart through your shoulders. And then exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes, inhale, rise up to cow pose, tilting the pelvis up towards the sky, dipping the belly down. And exhale, downward facing dog. One more time, just a little different variation each round. Inhale, gaze through your thumbs, bend your knees. Exhale, walk your way to the top of the mat. Press the ground away with your feet. Inhale, rise up, circle chair. So really just pretending you're a big zombie and your arms are just limp, your spine is unrolling. And exhale, arrive into this shape. Inhale, arms reach up high. And exhale, dive forward fold. Inhale, stable chair. Biceps frame your ears, fingertips point forward. Ribs knit in. And exhale, release. Plant your hands, step back. Inhale into your plank pose. And then this time we're going to do a full push-up if you want, or take any of the variations. Lower down, push back up, and then downward facing dog. Toes out, heels in, walk your hands back. Yogi squat. Opening up through your hips. And then exhale, walk it forward, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Inhale, ripple forward to high plank, undulating through your spine. And then exhale, lower your body as a unit. All the way down to the mat. Untuck your toes. Place your hands by the sides at like 10 and 2 o'clock. And then inhale, lift from the back of your heart space. Exhale, lower back down. Elbows are pointing out to the side. Finger pads are pressing down hard. Inhale. Oscillating cobra. Exhale, belly button touches the mat, followed by the ribs, the chest, and the forehead. One more time. Moving with your breath. Exhale, releasing down. Tuck your toes. Place your hands by the sides of your ribs. Push the ground away, inhale into your cow pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog. And then here we're going to create those similar little half smile shapes that we did in tabletop. Just finding some lubrication through your hip joints. Close your eyes. Maybe you inhale to roll forward slightly and exhale to dip it back again. Take 3 or 4 more cycles of breath. One more on each side. And then we're going to drop our knees down to the mat. Nice and wide, big toes in the center. And release into child's pose. Starting to feel a little bit of a slowing of the pace. Let your low back space start to soften. And then option is stay in your child's pose or stretch your hands forward into puppy pose. Hips to stack over knees, wrapping outer arms down, and letting our heart really melt into the mat. Two more cycles of steady breath. And then make your way back to child's pose. Sit your shoulders on top of your hips to kneel. Come to a kneeling position on your shins. And then if you want, you can just take some nice little cat-cow tucking and tilting of the pelvis here. Or if you want, come into a camel pose, Virasana. So tuck your toes under. Lift your hips, extend them forward. And then engage your glutes to drive your back pockets forward as you reach your arms up and then back behind you. So instead of arching at the low back, I want us to create a nice awkward looking posterior tilt of our pelvis. So it's not as pretty, but it'll keep your low back a little happier. And if that means you hang out here and don't reach your heels, totally fine. Just be where you are for 5 more breaths. Maybe you start to find a little deeper expression of your shape. Rolling shoulders onto back body, dropping head back. Keeping those nice breaths. Engage your glutes one more time. Tuck your pelvis underneath you. And then slowly release back to where you came from. Sit your hips in between your heels, coming into a hero's pose, Virasana. If that is a lot and that doesn't feel good on your knees, I want you to place a bolster or a pillow in between your hips and your heels and just kind of lean back onto that. But if hero pose is in your practice, go ahead and release to whatever angle feels good for you. If you're not able to lay fully all the way down, a block or bolster underneath the elbows would feel nice. And I'm going to be quiet and you're just going to breathe. You want to feel an increased sensation on the tops of your thighs and hips. Again, think about scooping your sit bones underneath you. Maybe you shake your head yes and no, loosen up through your neck. And we have 3 more breaths here, so go to where your body is asking you. Slowly and carefully come back all the way up, and we're going to keep our right knee bent. We're going to extend our left leg out in front of us. Inhale to grow tall through your spine, rooting down through your left sit bone. And then exhale, twist open to the left. Right hand comes on the outside of your left thigh. Grow taller through the crown of your head. Breathe in. And then exhale, lower your left elbow down to the mat. Your gaze is back to the left. Inhale, sweep your right arm overhead. Nice twist and side body opener, 3 breaths. On your next exhale, push through your left hand, come back up, and we'll switch it out. So right leg extends long, left knee comes either into the body, if this feels better, like a Janu Shasana shape, or if you are okay in that hero shape, hang out there. So inhale, root down to your right sit bone, puff your chest up, and then exhale, twist over to the right. Left hand comes to the outside of your right thigh, and then your right fingertips support behind you. Inhale to grow your spine a little taller. And then exhale, wiggle your fingers back, rest down on to your right elbow. Then on your next in-breath, sweep that left arm overhead. One more breath in. And exhale, push the ground away with your right hand. Both legs extend out in front of you. And we're going to just sit in our Dandasana, our staff pose. So your toes are curling back towards your body. You're lifting up and out of your pelvis. Just seeing what this nice neutral positioning feels like. And then we're going to roll all the way down. And we're going to end with a Halasana, Plow pose. So if that's in your practice, then push through your hands and bring your toes all the way back behind your head by engaging your core. You can interlace your fingers underneath your body. Make sure your head's in a nice neutral position. Don't turn your head side to side here. And then knees can be extended or bent right beside your ears. Enjoy this place for 10 cycles of breath. Let any lingering tightness move its way out of your body. If you're really holding on to something, let go. Maybe you let go of the grasp of your hands and rest with palms up. As a physical and kind of a metaphorical releasing. Big breath in. Big breath out. Final inhale. Hold at the top of your breath just for a second. And then exhale. Use your hands as brakes as you lower your spine and hips down onto the mat. Releasing into Shavasana. Hands on body for grounding, or hands open. Palms up. Just notice the little after effects of this short but sweet practice. What feels different in your body specifically? Are you in a better mental space? And then finally, just check in with your heart. We didn't address it too much this class, but it's always good to just see if anything is knocking there. Take 3 more breaths. Sealing in any positive effects from your practice today, and then exhaling out anything you'd like to let go of. Start to wiggle into your fingers and toes. You have the option to stay here as long as you'd like. Maybe moving into a meditation. Or if you're ready, roll onto your side. Come to sit. And then cross your legs, place your hands on your knees. Close your eyes down. Take one more inhale together. And then a big exhale out of your mouth. All right, thank you guys for joining. I hope you feel great in your body. I hope you feel more at peace in your mind and just with your overall energy right now. So if you like this class, please share with others so they can join along, and then subscribe so you see the next similar one or the next different one, whatever might be next. But I hope you liked it. If you did, go ahead and like it, and I will see you next time. Thank you for joining. Namaste.